Hello everyone, welcome to Aasaan ERP. In this demonstration video, I am going to give a walkthrough of the production module and the manufacturing module in our system. So, to begin with, I'll just give a brief about what the production module is. Production module and the manufacturing module, we will use it together to produce some finished products from some raw materials. So, to begin with, first we need to look into some basics which will be defined in the system at the beginning, and then we will move into the following process on how to produce the following materials. To begin with, first I'll show you how to add the items in the system. So to give a demonstration, I'm taking an example of producing drones out of two parts of the drone, which will be the wings and the body of the drone, and the finished product will be the drone. So to begin with, first I will move to the items module. So in the items module, first I'll click on add, and I'll add the drone. For example, I'll add the drone item code, for example DRN. Present selling price, I'll keep it for 00 now. The UM will be pieces. The alternate UM, let us take for example kg. What is the category? It will be your product. What is the item group? I have created some item group and opening category randomly, and then I'll select if I have any opening stock balance in which warehouse I'll be putting that drone into. So I will select, for example, as it is a product, I'll select the warehouse target which I have created, and in stock opening balance, I'll consider, for example, my opening stock as of now of the drone product is 5, and stock opening value as it is the opening value, I'll consider it as 0. So taxability, I'll put like a taxable, then DST rate, for example, is 15%. Is it enabled? Yes. Maintain stock? Yes. And then all this thing we will be assigning. And in the barcode, for example, I'll choose this barcode. And I will save. So the drone item has been added into our system. So before moving into making the raw materials or the spare parts to make the drone, I will give you a brief about what the UOM, barcode, and warehouse are to be created. So for example, we just need to go to UOM, like unit of measurement, and in this module, we will be adding different UOMs in the system. And for barcode, we will go to the barcode module and add different barcodes into the system. So I have already added 1234790 barcode in the system. So if I open it, so I have this barcode which has been generated by the system automatically by just giving the information over here. So I'll move back to the items and I'll define the raw materials required to create the drone. So I'll click on add, and now I'll add the drone body. DBDY, for example, is the item code. The category, I'll choose it as raw material. Quantity, the unit of measurement, I'll be choosing pieces. Let the alternate unit of measurement be kg. Item group, I'll choose group as it is the same. The warehouse, I'll be selecting as this is the raw material I'm considering. So I'll choose, for example, warehouse as source. Stock opening balance. Let me consider I already have in my stock 10 opening stock value. If I have any value, I'll put it here, or otherwise I'll put 0. I'm considering 50 for now. Taxability, let us take it as unknown, which will be used later on in the purchase and sales module. And maintain stock, and I will just save the changes. So after defining the drone body, I'll be making the drone wings. So drone wings will be your raw material pieces. warehouse source. I'll consider I have 20 wings as of now, of 0, and I'll maintain stock and I'll save the product. So this is how I have added the different items into the product. So after we have added the items, now I'll show you the stock. So as I have maintained stock, I want to maintain the stock of the um, items. I'll simply go to stock, then stock balance, and in stock balance, I can see, for example, I have made drone. I gave the opening balance is 5, then drone body, my current stock is 10, and drone wings, my current stock is 20. Okay, so after reviewing the stock, next I'll move on to bill of material. So bill of material is nothing but we will define, like for example, we want to manufacture the drone. So to manufacture the drone, we need two raw materials, such as the first raw material is your drone wings, and the second raw material is the drone body. So I'll just define what the drone is made up of. So I'll go to bill of material and I'll click on add, and I'll choose the item. So item is your drone. So quantity one to make one drone. Then we will need, for example, if there is any scrap items produced while manufacturing the drone, we'll select it here. Quantity one, for example, I put 0 as it is scrap. Then description. Let's consider it is a normal waste. And the raw material. The raw material will be your drone body, which will be 1. Unit of measurement is your pieces. Rate, for example, I'll put 10. Amount is, so by quantity and rate, the amount will be calculated automatically. And I will choose the drone wings. So we, for example, the drone that we are manufacturing needs 4 wings to complete. So I'll select 4. The intermeasurement is pieces. Rate I'll consider, for example, as 40. So this is the amount, and I'll save it. So the bill of material is added. So the scrap item and the raw material. So after we have defined the bill of material, that means the raw material and the scrap items that will be produced while creating the drone. So now we will move on to different terminologies such as workstation type, workstation, operation, routing, downtime entry, quality inspection, project. So first we will begin with workstation type. So workstation is nothing but workstation is the place that we will define to manufacture something. So for example, I will define the first workstation type as electronics. For example, electronics assembly. And what is the electricity cost if you want to define? What is the rent? If there are the total wages, what are the consumables, description, and I will save the workstation type. So next we will move on to workstation. So workstation is basically the place where we will manufacture something. So we will add the workstation. So now as we are making drone, we will write drone assembly. What is the production capacity? For example, a workstation can handle 100. What is the electricity cost, rent cost? What is the start working time? So for example, it starts in the morning 9. So morning 9 to working hour ending time is, for example, evening at 20. So I'll just define the drone assembly. So drone assembly will come under the workstation type, that is electronic assembly, as drone is an electronics device, and we will save it. So we have added the workstation drone assembly. After workstation, we have operation. So operation is nothing but operation is what the employee or the worker is going to perform, or the functionality that the employee will perform to make the product from the raw materials in a workstation. So I'll add the operation for now. So the operation, I'll be defining in which workstation we will be doing it. Then the name of the operation, for example, I'll be considering manufacture drone. If I have a job card, I'll add it. Otherwise, I will not add a job card, which is not mandatory, and we will save the operation. Yeah. So next we have routing. So we will use routing if we use more than one workstation for a particular product and we have multiple operations to manufacture a specific product. So I'll go to add. I'll add the name, for example, finish drone manufacturing. And then I'll add the operations such as first we will manufacture drone workstation. I'll do it in electronics assembly workstation type. Then the operation time is, for example, is 2 hours. The fixed time, if it is fixed time, then if it, I think it is like, for example, 1 hour. And operating cost, if there is any cost, for example, I'll consider 100 and like that. And if you want to add multiple, I'll add like the quality testing. If we want to include it in the process of manufacturing the drone, then I'll give another operation in which workstation will it be done. It might be the same or it might be a different workstation. Then I'll define the operation time. Then what is the fixed time needed, operated like operating cost. For example, for quality assurance, we need 50. So I'll save the routing time. So we have added the routing. We have downtime entry. So in downtime entry, we will enter the details if, for example, some workstation is down due to any technical reason. So series XYZ, for example, workstation, I'll consider drone assembly workstation was down from yesterday 1930 to 21 today 1930. Then the who was the operator on it? It was an employee which has been created in the system from human resource module. What was the downtime reason? Let the reason be electrical issue. Remarks, if we have any remarks how it was solved or anything, we will write it over here in the remarks description box and we'll save it. So this is how we can keep a log of all the downtime of the workstations. Next, we have project. So project is nothing but a simple definition. Like, for example, if we want to create some drones that I have taken example as, so different versions of drone or the different series of drone we will be creating, or we can use the project module to group them. For example, the drone version 14 maybe under project XYZ, then drone, the next version of drone, for example, drone 15, we can consider it under project ABC. So like that, we will create some projects in this projects module. So name, for example, uh, version 1, drone, enabled yes. What is the project? If it is a sub project and it has a parent project, we will select it here. Otherwise, we will keep it blank and we will save it. So we have saved the version 1 drone. Then we have another module, quality inspection template. So in over here, we will add various quality inspections which are to be needed after we have successfully produced an item. So for example, I have created one quality inspection template already. So here, for example, I'll name it drone finish. And if there's a description and the quality inspection criteria, if I want to check like what should be the fly time, accepted value is 80, then a minimum value should be 70 to pass the quality inspection, and maximum value is 100. So if there is any charges, we will take, otherwise we will keep it zero. And quality assurance of the battery of the drone that we will be operating, so it will have the acceptance criteria value 95, the minimum value should also be 95, and the maximum value will be 100. It will not exceed 100. So this is how we are adding a quality inspection, which will be later on implementing after this uh, product is finished. So after defining all the basic things, now we will move to the actual manufacturing part. So in manufacturing, first we have material request, then we have work order, production plan, the stock entry, and job card. So first I'll move to material request. So in material request module, we will be adding the materials which are to be produced. So someone will put a request and then we will make the production. So naming series, let's give drone X1, manufacturing drones, posting date, like who has requested on which date, on 21st, for example. What is the barcode of the drone? This is the barcode of the drone. And what are the items now? So we need drone quantity. For example, I need one. What is the unit of measurement? Pieces. So for which warehouse we need to mix, I will choose target warehouse and require it by which date I require. For example, I need it by 25th of November. And I will click on submit. So I have added the material request as drone X1. Now, after the material request has been put in the system, the managers or the supervisor of the workstation will be creating work orders for the material request. So we'll move to work order module now. And in work order module, we will be adding a new work order to produce the new drone. So I'll be producing a drone. So after selecting drone, the required items will be selected by default, like how much drone body is required, what are the number of wings required, and then the manager will choose the basic information. So series, for example, I took X1, sorry, X1, the company for which I'm creating, quantity manufacture 1, under which project it will come, for example, drone version 1, the BOM is by default selected, drone. So we have two options over here, either a material request or a sales order. So I'll add the material request, that is drones M001, which I've added just a few minutes back. And if there is no material request, we can also create work order for the invoices that has been raised. For example, we are selling one drone. So for selling one drone, under the sales module that we have, that will be explained in another video. So we can choose the invoice number also. So against which number we are producing the drone. So now we will choose work in progress warehouse. That means in the workstation, what is the warehouse where we will put all the manufacturing process spare parts. Then what is the target warehouse? It is our target warehouse. And what is the scrap warehouse? Let us consider the source as the scrap warehouse, and transfer material against the work order. So next, the required items, required 1 and required 4 for drone wings. So we will transfer quantity 1 for drone body and transfer quantity 4 for drone wings. So consumed and return will be basically consumed will be 1 and return will be 0. So we'll keep it blank for now. And then operation, which operation is required. If you want to specify the operation, we will consider here which operation is done, what is the operation time. For example, it will take 12 hours, and in which workstation, and we'll save it. Okay, so yeah, so I have forgotten to choose from which warehouse I'm taking the raw materials. I will consider the source warehouse that I have created, and I'll save it. So the work order has been saved in our system. So if we want to update, we can update. Otherwise, we need to submit, or we can consider approving the work order so that job cards can be created by the employees against this work order in the workstation. So now I will submit the work order. I'll click on submit, and I'll get this update stock entry page. Over here, the date, the BOM number, the items, the quantity, source, and the target warehouse will be selected automatically. And after reviewing everything, we will save it. So the stock entry is done. So 1 is stock out, 1 is stock in, 4 is stock out, and 4 is stock in. So now, so after the stock transaction is done, if I move to the stock balance page, there if I choose all the warehouses, I'll get all the items are still there. But if I choose specific warehouse, so that I can check, for example, in warehouse progress, what is the current stock. So we have put one drone body in the progress warehouse and 4 drone wings in the progress warehouse. And in the target, the opening balance of the drone, we kept it as 5, so it is 5. Until now, the drone has not been completed yet. Now we will move on to the job card module. So before moving into the job card module, I'll go back to the work order page. So in the work order, now as I have submitted, so this is the page. Now I'll make job cards for this work order. So I'll go to job card, and in job card, I'll be adding a job card, which will be added by the employees. For example, naming series, it was X1. And the posting date, for example, I'm making it on 22nd. Quantity manufacturer, I'll manufacture one. Under which project? The company. If quality inspection template is required, I can add it to the job card. Otherwise, I can skip it. Then I'll choose the work order under which I'm creating the job card. So this is the work order. That is WO1001. Yes, this one. So I'll choose the work order. Then under which workstation, drone assembly, operation, manufacture drone. Then these are all non-mandatory fields. We can get it default from the work order, but if it changes, we can just select it. Employee and all these things. So the raw material, I'll be using drone body from source warehouse is my progress. It has been put into the progress warehouse, and required quantity is 1. And I'll use drone wings from the progress warehouse as it has been put on by the work order and 4. Then scrap item, if it produces, I'll choose item 1, item code 123, for example, quantity 1. And time log, we can edit in this time that employee had taken how much time. This is the employee have taken, employee from time to time, time in minutes, and completed quantity. Now save it. So the job card is added. So now if I want to update, I can update. Otherwise, I can submit the job card. After submitting, we have the status. Please start the respective work order in order to start jobs. So we have not started the work order yet, so we cannot start the jobs. We will go to the work order, then we will click on start. So we have started the work order now. Starts and refresh the page. So as soon as we refresh, the start button is visible now, and we will start the job card now. So that successfully started and time has been recorded. And after few time, for example, 1 hour or 2 hour or as much time as it requires, when the worker or the employee will go to the job card and will now complete by entering the quantity that he has completed and select complete. So the job card has been completed and time has been recorded. Now we will go back to the work order, and in work order we will complete the work order as well as the job cards has been finished. So here, as soon as we click on work order complete, we will get this page. So in this page, we will select the date on which day it was out. Then we will check drone body from warehouse progress. We want to we will not want to move it to the target warehouse because it will be consumed. Then drone wings has been consumed and drone has will be put into the target warehouse. So we will not select the target warehouse for these two, as these two has been consumed, and the drone, which is the product, we will choose the target warehouse. The quantity is 1, and we will submit it. So as soon as we submit it, the stock transaction or the stock entry is done. And if we go to stock balance now, and as we refresh the page, now the drone quantity was before 5. Now the current stock of the drone is 6. And in the progress warehouse, we have 0 drone body and 0 drone wings, which were initially 1 and 4. So this is how the whole job card and the work order has been completed.